All right, welcome back. How about this? The Supreme Court in the case of Louisiana versus Calais has struck down a Louisiana congressional map that a group of voters who describe themselves as non-African American had challenged as the product of unconstitutional racial gerrymandering. Now, in a 36-page opinion, Judge Alito, he explained that the Constitution almost never permits the federal government or a state to discriminate on the basis of race. Alito also said that Louisiana's goal in adopting the 2024 map was racial. In sum, Alito concluded, because the Voting Rights Act did not require Louisiana to create an additional majority-minority district, no compelling interest justified the state's use of race in creating SB 8. That map is an unconstitutional gerrymander, and its use would violate the plaintiff's constitutional rights. So there you go. There are some pretty upset people after this decision came down. And my issue with it all is this. It seems like our legislators are really just more interested in gaining and holding on to power than by simply governing, right? So I want to hear what my next guest has to say about it all. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Carol Swain. Thanks for coming back on, Doctor. I know you've been busy. Really appreciate your points of view, and especially on this one. What do you think about this?
Well, my first book was about this topic, and there's nothing racial about the Louisiana decision or the redistricting that's taken place in Tennessee. The Supreme Court has been very consistent about prohibiting the use of race in redistricting. It's okay to have a partisan gerrymander, but you cannot have a racial gerrymander.
And so what's going to be the knock-on effect on this? What's the big overall macro effect you think this is going to really create?
I think it would be business as usual. I believe that the Democrats hoped to get an additional seat for the Democrats by using black voters, and they're not going to be able to do that. And so what they're left with is pretty much what would be the status quo. It was like a power grab, and that's not going to be allowed because it would violate the Constitution.
I mean, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to look at some of those maps, and it doesn't have to be just Louisiana. You can look at Illinois is ridiculous as well. But some of these districts are just so crazy that it looks like a child drew them. But here's, we had the governor of Texas on, not our show, but on another show earlier today that I saw. And he said that he believes that going back to some of these old districts are going to be the result of, say, 5 more Republican seats for Texas, maybe 4 more for Florida, and it could be a big push for the Republicans. Do you not see that, or is that something that maybe is a little bit overhyped?
Well, it's always been the case that the political party that controls the governorship and the legislature, they get to draw the lines, and they've always drawn them for political advantage. And so in those states where Republicans control the redistricting, of course, they're going to favor their political party. That's how it's always worked.
And so, in overall, I mean, I haven't really looked at Kalshi or Polymarket. Maybe I should, but there had been an expectation that the Republicans may lose the House in the next election, in the midterms coming up in November. Would something like this maybe bolster their cause and help them not lose the House, or is this really going to be something that has been kind of settled science?
If they lose the House, it will be because of disappointed Republican voters that are upset with them not actually governing during the time they have been in power. So the Republican voters may not pull the lever for incumbents they're upset with. So we're not sure how it will work out. Democrats will run a candidate, Republicans will run a candidate, and some of those Democrats might win in the red states.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right, and ultimately it has to be decided in the ballot box in the voting booth, and that's going to be an interesting call. We'll see how these gerrymandered states really kind of fall in line, if they do fall in line, if there are big swings, because right now it's pretty close in both the House and the Senate, isn't it? I mean, this could have
It
a swing
is.
either way when it comes to the votes there. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they're certainly fighting for control of the House, and so I hope that if Republicans are willing, able to just pull it off, because I am a Republican, if they can pull it off and keep the House, great. But govern, do something, use the power in a way that makes a difference for the American voters, especially the ones that sent them to Washington.
Yeah, I put it in the monologue, and you just said it superbly, because I'm yes, it's nice to have power and hold on to power, but stop just holding on to power and start governing. Make some good decisions for us and make this place a better place to live, instead of just wanting to hoard and hold on to the power rather than putting forward good decisions and legislation. Because again, it just seems to me this is why this whole thing's a big hullabaloo, is because it just feels like that's all they want to do is hold and gain power. They don't really want to govern. I'll give you the last 10 seconds.
I totally agree that the incumbents don't seem to want to govern, and Republicans have not done a great job always. They may get another chance to prove themselves. So I would say that if the Republicans are able to control the House once again, then do something. Do what the people sent you to Washington
Exactly right.
to accomplish. Don't just be there to say, "Oh, we're red, we're Republicans." Do something with the power people have entrusted you with.
It's like your dues down at the golf club there, Dr. Swain. You had to use it or lose it. That's what I say, right? Appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you very much, Dr. Swain.
Thank you.
Always really interested to hear what you have to say coming to us.